Non-belief is incoherent omnibus. Number 15, the argument from unverifiability. Premise 1. Belief claims are private mental events, making them inherently unverifiable through empirical methods. As beliefs are private mental events, they are not subject to direct empirical observation, testing, and verification. Instead, all we have are fallible self-reports of individuals' subjective experience, which are prone to error due to faulty reasoning, such as biases and presumed objectivity and rationality. Further, a suspension of judgment does not equate to a suspension of belief. Secondly, a suspension of judgment as an admission that one does not know the truth value of P substantiates only agnosticism, an epistemological position. It does not address belief, a doxastic position, at all, much less substantiate an absence of belief. Thirdly, whereas the suspension of judgment is an act of will, the suspension of belief presumes that one can choose what one does and does not believe, which is an extraordinary claim that requires extraordinary evidence. Premise 2. Scientific claims require verifiability for substantiation. The criterion which we use to test the genuineness of apparent statements of fact is the criterion of verifiability. We say that a sentence is factually significant to any given person if and only if he knows how to verify the proposition which it purports to express. Conclusion. Therefore, the complete absence of belief may be unverifiable, making it challenging, if not impossible, to substantiate the concept of non-belief.
Let's look at the first premise. Belief claims are private mental events, making them inherently unverifiable through empirical methods. First, a correction. While beliefs themselves are private mental events, belief claims are publicly asserted statements subject to external observation. Second, this premise contains a critical error. Belief claims are not inherently unverifiable because they are private mental states. They are unverifiable in the strict verificationist sense because they refer to subjective mental states that cannot be directly observed. Verificationism demands direct observation to confirm the truth of a claim. While we can confirm that someone publicly makes a belief claim through observation, there is no direct method to link that statement to the underlying belief with absolute certainty. This is where verification fails. The sincerity, accuracy, or truth of the belief claim cannot be verified in relation to its belief because beliefs are inaccessible. Premise 2. Scientific claims require verification for substantiation. This premise misrepresents how scientific claims are evaluated. Verification alone is neither sufficient nor necessary for a claim to be considered scientific. Instead, falsifiability, the ability for a claim to be tested and potentially refuted, is a fundamental requirement. Verification insists that a claim is meaningful only if it can be confirmed through direct empirical observation or if it is analytically true. Karl Popper cheekily pointed out that verification itself can't be empirically verified or analytically proven, making it self-refuting. Verification is impossible in science. No finite set of observations can definitively prove a universal claim. Observing white swans all day, every day for the rest of your life does not prove that all swans are white. In the year 2025 of the Common Era, modern science has left the verification principle behind. Yet, this failure of verification does not mean belief claims are beyond scrutiny or evaluation. Falsification offers a more practical framework. While we can't directly observe internal beliefs, we can test the external consequences, contradictions, and consistency of belief claims. To illustrate, imagine an officer interrogating a cultist arrested for stealing a golden squid god idol. During the interrogation, the cultist makes two statements. When the stars align, Cthulhu will rise. I believe when the stars align, Cthulhu will rise. The first statement is a claim about external reality, which can be investigated. The second reflects an internal belief, which the officer cannot directly observe. However, belief claims like this can still be evaluated based on external evidence, such as the cultist's behavior, context, and consistency with other statements. For example, if the officer discovers that the cultist is deeply in debt and recognizes the idol's high value, or if the cultist previously declared, Cthulhu is a fictional character, the officer might reasonably doubt the sincerity of the belief claim. While the internal belief remains inaccessible, the public expression of that belief is subject to scrutiny through indirect but reliable means. The argument's conclusion states, therefore, the complete absence of belief may be unverifiable, making it challenging, if not impossible, to substantiate the concept of non-belief. The conclusion is built on the flawed premises already addressed. Even setting that aside, beliefs in the strict verificationist sense are unverifiable. No maybe. They are inaccessible and unobservable. This includes all positive belief, all negative belief, and every non-belief. The argument rests on disjointed premises that fail to support the conclusion. Premise 1 confuses beliefs with belief claims, and Premise 2 misrepresents scientific methodology by clinging to a verification standard that science has long abandoned. The conclusion selectively prejudices non-belief without justification. Ultimately, the argument collapses, revealing that non-belief is no more problematic than any other unobservable mental state.